Mets had a big year last year, no question about it, but the season ended badly. Everybody wants to know, how is this year's team better from what it was last year?
You know, Sal, I don't want this to come out wrong, but I don't know that they are better than last year's team, and that's okay. You said it. They won 101 games a season ago. They didn't lose in the playoffs or have a disappointing finish because they weren't good enough. Things just broke the wrong way, and they got some bad performances at the worst time. You know, losing Starling Marte for that last month, that impacted this group more than I think we even realized in the moment. And then certainly the starting pitching, which this team was built on last year, didn't come through in that Braves series and didn't come through in that series against the Padres. Going into this season, I do think the starting pitching staff has a little bit higher upside, which is really saying something. Certainly, Justin Verlander, you hope, is healthier than Jacob deGrom was last year, and he's coming off maybe the best season of his career with a 1.75 ERA last year, winning the Cy Young. Kodai Senga, big a wild card there. I mean, we don't know exactly what he's going to be, but he could also be a huge upgrade over some of the middle pitchers that the Mets had a season ago. So I think the potential is there to be better. The potential is there to go on a run in the postseason, and I think this team certainly can do that. But to say that they're definitively better than a year ago, you just can't do that at this point. And again, I don't think that's a bad thing. This team won 101 games a season ago. I don't think we should let the failure in the postseason cloud the success and the potential still of a group that is relatively the same going back this year.
Steve, I actually think the team is better. You know, definitively, we'll see. You know, that's a number of wins, whatever the case may be. But for me, the big thing that they got last year was experience. The way they went into Atlanta and got it handed to them, and then they continued on right into the playoffs, I think was a big shock to these guys. And Pete talked about it in his press conference. They know what it feels like. These are big-time at-bats in crucial situations. I think that experience is going to take them over, obviously, with the additions they have. Kodai Senga, you mentioned. But I do think that on paper, they are better.
Okay, so here's what's funny. You guys are all kind of saying the same thing, right? The potential this team has could fuel them. But I think those losses and losing and facing adversity and having your heart ripped out from you is going to be the reason this team is going to be better. They needed those losses. It's a good reality check, right? Just because you are the best team doesn't mean that you always win. How badly do you want it? So I think the fact that they have that within them, that's going to motivate them. But you have a core that's now been together, knows how to win together. That is so important. In an entire season, 162, you got to like the guys you play with, right? You got to want to win together. You have their backs. That's huge for me. Oh, yeah. You also have 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers in your rotation. And Francisco Lindor, for me, guys, key. He's due. There's no doubt about it. This guy has to have a big season, and he wants to, and I think that's going to be a huge reason why they're going to be better.
And some of the disappointments, you'll remember, it wasn't just that the Mets got bounced in the first round of the postseason. It was coupled with getting swept in Atlanta. So that, to me, was where really there was a sour taste. Postseason, sometimes, you know, year to year, the results can vary, but I do agree with Jerry that I think the Mets have learned from those losses and hopefully are better for it this year.